Right?
All right, here we are. What is up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of this wonderful show we are calling Flan Fan Show, baby.
That's right, Johnny. It's the Flan Fan Show. Well, the first time the Flan Fan Show here is coming to you guys. It's a 5 episode of the Flan Fan Show, as advertised, as posted on 239 Discord. We got a lot of topics to discuss. We got some interviews on here. We'll take comments in the Twitch stream as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the living legend, Giant 918. How you doing, brother?
www.239hockey.net. Follow us on Twitter at 239hockey. Guys, I'm really pumped up over here. We got previous week's games to go over. We have tentatively scheduled interviews with none other than Pale Poner as well as Master Shotgun. So as soon as we get them into the room, guys, we will get into those interviews as well.
Ooh.
I'm pumped up. I hope you are. I want to give a shout out to Hollywood as well for producing this lovely show tonight. And it's a lot of work for prep work. I'm getting emails from Hollywood at fucking 5:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This guy doesn't mess around when it comes to the production of this show.
No.
Because we want the hottest shit that's out there. Blaze, how you feeling, buddy?
I'm feeling great. Thank you, guys. Again, thank you for everybody's involvement. Everybody, Giant for coming on the show. It's great to have a legend. Hollywood for doing the work. All this crazy good stuff behind the scenes, man. All these graphics and a lot of the content. So it's a good time.
All right, guys.
Blaze the man behind the back, man, doing everything on here, getting everything to work, the streams, images, everything up there. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Couldn't have the show without you.
We got Phoenix Rising in the chat. The man, the myth, the legend, Giant says Phoenix Rising, giving the props. What's up, Phoenix?
Yeah, shout out to Phoenix Rising and the rest of you guys in there in the chat over there on twitch.tv. /Johnny_Blaze1979. If you guys put any one of those keywords together, Johnny is with 2 N's and 2 Y's, and 1979, I'm sure you guys can find it if you have not. Something I didn't mention before we started up over here, guys, was we are going to go over the players of the week as well.
Yes.
And among them include D-Mart, Bills, SBDR, so a lot of hot players this past week as well. Let's move on, guys, to the week number 5 games. And this is where I was the first time. Yeah, go ahead, Flan.
You know what? Let's change it up a bit because we actually have Master Shotgun in here. Pale Poner is going to join us later on today, so we'll get to his interview later. But since we got Shotgun on here, let's get this interview. I don't know how much time he has on here, so let's not waste it. If he wants to stay on the show with us, that's fine. But I know we have some questions regarding him, his team, how his season has been transpiring so far here in season 17. Guys, welcome Master Shotgun to the set. Shotgun, how you doing over there?
What's up, Shotty?
I'm doing great. Thanks, guys, for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on the show, Shotgun.
Absolutely.
We just want to go over this. You guys started off the season at 10-0, and all of a sudden you just lost 4 series, but you bounced back with 2 huge series wins this past week versus number 1 ranked Cobra Kai, and the best team that was drafted, the number 2 Sims, and you have made 0 trades this season. Why is the left side of that ice weak? Do you feel that way? Is that still the case? And when you drafted, you went all in on D-Mart and surprised me. Big money, leaving you with very little for the rest of your draft, and ended up with 3 additional players right off the dollar menu. Master Shotgun, there's a lot going on in this question. Answer it at your leisure if you can. We appreciate it.
Yeah, well, so essentially, I pretty much went in the draft knowing I wanted pretty much the big 3. I wanted D-Mart, I wanted Surprise Me, and I wanted Drug as a center. He kind of knew I wanted him as a center. I'm like, so you play more center lately? And before the draft, and Jug's like, no, not really too much. And then he actually Caspered on me when I was trying to get into games, but I knew I wanted them, and then I knew some people knew about John Monkey, but honestly, to get him for $1, I had no clue I was gonna get him for $1. And then Phoenix, I've known Phoenix forever, great dude, and just an all around solid player. And then Yeti again, I've known him for years and years. So he was there, and I kind of knew that no one was really gonna pick him up, so I knew that was gonna be my dollar bid. And we 100% started off hot, and we were all excited. But then I don't know, I feel like maybe kind of got a little cocky, and then after that first week of losing, I don't know exactly who it was, like who the two tiers was in that first week, and then obviously I thought about trades, like. Obviously, especially coming up to the deadline, obviously, if you're a captain, you should at least be looking for people. But I didn't really see anyone that I thought fit Bill, so I just decided to stand pat. And obviously, this past week, beating the 1 and 2 teams, like at least so far so good. I made the right call. Obviously, that's all going to come down to what happens in the playoffs.
Lanny?
Okay. You mentioned John Monkey. I agree. As far as, there's a lot of guys that went for the $1 in this draft, but him, out of all the guys, I would say was a surprise to me. And he's proving here this season, doing a phenomenal job for you guys, filling in. When you were in this draft, I mean, you pretty much put all your chips in on D-Mart, all your chips on Surprise Me. You got Drug Monkey for a good amount on there, but outside of that, I mean, were you at any point worried in the draft? They're like, oh man, I really don't have anything left on here. That you were gonna get these guys at the $1 menu, or were there other guys that you were possibly looking into at that point?
Well, I mean, if one person I know was looking into was freaking Nick DeGreek. I was thinking like maybe he would be the ones that kind of, those ones that like kind of fall unexpectedly that you just don't expect, almost like Joe Stowe not being drafted at all. To me, that was a big shock. Like, I did not expect Joe Stowe to go completely undrafted, but obviously I kind of got outbid, but I think by pale for Nick. So I think right there I maybe kind of got a little nervous, but I'm like, all right. John Monkey it is, and then got him for $1, so I'm like, okay, fuck it.
It's a great deal. Talk about $1 menu deal, man.
Yeah, and actually, Big Cat 69 in the chat mentioning you're missing McDollar menu, and that's what it said. Deliciousness.
So, you were not going for $1. Stop it. No, you weren't.
Your play. How do you think your play has been this season? You got goals allowed, GAA of 2.82, save percentage of 79.1%. How do you think it's been going this season so far yourself in that?
I would say that this year has definitely been at least a struggle for me in that. And that this year you literally cannot make one mistake. If you're even slightly off, like even slightly off, you're gonna get sniped and you're gonna get beat. So it's just more important, at least in this game than ever before, to just focus and kind of read the play and see what's actually going on. I don't know, it has been kind of a learning curve for me. I know that during the weeks we were losing, I was definitely on the struggle bus and not doing particularly well. So I kind of had to go in, practice a little bit, like on my own, kind of get back to basics. And obviously this past week, it definitely felt at least a little better. But I will say it's definitely one of my more down years than normal because usually I run over an 800.
Was that the week that you gave up that short side goal to Legion, and you're thinking about retirement possibly during that?
Oh fuck yeah. I'm like, fuck me.
Oh man. But listen, man. I mean, we've seen this a lot of seasons with you. You start off hot, 10-0. I mean, you can't ask for a better start than that. 10-0 this season, but you've done it in the previous seasons. When you started losing a series, now 2 series, 3 series, 4 series. I mean, what was going through your mind at that point? Were you thinking? We're gonna have later on this show, Pale Poner on here, who made a lot of moves where you did not. Were you thinking of trades? Were you was it a possibility at that point doing trades, or you just thought hey, we're going to figure things out? We're going to roll with who we have here. What was going through your mind? Were you thinking it's going to be one of those seasons that you had previously that started going downhill?
Obviously, like, if you're losing, obviously as a captain, you should do your due diligence and trades and just to see what's out there. And obviously, it did cross my mind, but obviously, like nothing really transpired because either I wasn't
the deals weren't there.
Like what I wanted.
Yeah, I mean, for you, it might have been kind of difficult because you had a very high amount of bot guys or very low dollar menu guys. So maybe I could see why a trade here and there might not be there or might not be for the right price that you could get. But great job of turning things around. I mean, last week you guys looked great heading into the final week here of the season. 2 big wins, 2 big series wins against the top 2 teams here as far as record-wise and points-wise on here, thus far. Folks, you guys got any other questions here for Master Shock?
I just want to know, based on everything we've discussed so far, how confident do you feel going into the playoffs? I'm predicting you're going to get into the playoffs. And do you think you guys are going to be competitive over there?
Oh yeah, if we just stick to what we've been doing the past week, I think we're gonna do great. I'm not gonna say we're like belt contenders or anything like that. I'm not gonna get too overly cocky, but I mean having someone like Demar and someone else like surprise me on your team, and it definitely gives you a good chance.
Okay. So Shotgun this season proving the doubters wrong. The guys who criticized him after the draft that his left side was going to be weak. I don't know if guys still try to attack that side as much as they did beginning of the season. But Shotty, I got another thing, man. I got some rumor on here. I'm not going to announce my sources, but they're saying about possibility that you might be losing your left defenseman Phoenix for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that's a unfortunate blow that came up earlier, and it sucks. Phoenix is a great dude, literally one of the nicest guys pretty much you could have like in chat or in a party. So obviously that hurts, but I got Colin Ellie on my team, who's also a great guy and great player. So I think we'll be fine. It might be like a very small adjustment, but I think we'll manage.
Good deal.
Okay.
Big dog.
Stuff, man.
Big Cat saying, Big Cat 68.9 saying he's going to be $1 after this season. So I don't know. He's saying I'll be $3. I'm saying I'm 45 cents.
You got the $1, the $2, and the $3 menus, right?
That's right. You got
we really appreciate you coming on. You got any shout outs or anything like that?
I mean, obviously, shout out to my team. Let's get this ball rolling and keep the momentum going into the playoffs.
Momentum.
Awesome. Hey, Shotgun, we appreciate you coming on here.
We appreciate you coming on, bro.
If you want to stay on, you can stay
No
on. That's
worries,
up to
man.
you. We'll have Pale Pulling later on tonight. As always, great stuff, man. All right, so fellas, let's get started, man. Let's get into. We got a lot to cover here. Let's go run through a lot of stuff. I definitely want to go through the standings, give our points on that, and the players of the week, obviously, and then we'll get to the Pale interview later on. So let's try to cover as much as thing. Giant. Or Blaze,
I
you
mean,
guys got.
we went over some of the stats last week. Let's go over the players of the week. We're ready about 25. Actually, we got time to go over week 5 stats because this will be predicated on whenever hopefully Pale Poner gives us a call in over here. And you take a look at this. After these trades happened, last time we were on the air, at least I was on the air, was on Monday. And we were watching Washington Sims and Orange Sus at the Crosby Meals for Malkin. And the Orange Sus that's Pale Poner's team. And correct me if I'm wrong, fellas, but they got obliterated. And we were watching this live, and they absolutely melted down in that first game of the series against Crosby, and they just got swept the entire series. It's fucking crazy. And not only that, so I mean, just like that. That was only for Monday. Somebody disconnect?
Okay, no
shotgun
shotgun
left.
But yeah, Giant. Yeah, no, you bring up a good point, man. That sauce. We watched it live as it happened, and it all came down. I think when they gave up that 3-0 lead in the third period. Crosby scoring all 4 goals in that third period, making that comeback, and then they took the next 2. It was a clean sweep. Big night there for the captain, Flaming Dragon, on there. His stats are up on the screen as well. But that's it was a complete meltdown there for Orange Sauce after giving up that 3-0 lead in game 1.
Okay, and then the other series was watched at the Sims, and looks like the Sims took this series. They lost. They got blown out the first game, but they ended up coming back around in the second and third game. Third game, they ended up winning in overtime. And this is Theo's team or Flode? How do you say it? Dude, he's got like 60 million players on his fucking team, too. This is crazy. A bunch of part-timers, I guess. Is that what it looks like, guys?
Pretty much drafted a part-time squad.
Absolute stud himself, dude. So shout out to Flode. Absolute stud. 27 games played, 40 goals, 35 assists, 75 points, plus 21 for the season. And they are in fantastic shape, fellas. And so that's number 2 overall in the rankings, and we'll go over that shortly. Moving on to Tuesday, Daly's Wet Noodles. They took the series and they swept Niagara Ice Frogs, Boondock Saints. They ended up winning the series 2 out of 3. Orange Sus going up against Winter's Coming, finally turning it around. But they won 2 out of 3 over here. Still tough.
Listen, man, they took 2 out of 3 there, Giant, but you got to sweep it when you're playing the 12th team on the rankings, the bottom of the bottom. And the real question mark here, when Pale gets on, I mean, not only did they lose that third game, they gave up 6 goals to Winter's Coming, So
man, that hurts.
Yeah.
And Thursday was a big night of game, fellas. 5 series over there. And high expectations of winning the series against Crosby Hills, Boondock Saints. They ended up winning the series against the Sims. Cobra Kai Puckers, there's a reason they're number 1, guys. But they ended up winning series 2 out of 3. Johnny Klings, they end up taking the series 2 out of 3 against the Ice Frogs. Those guys, they end up taking the series against Daily Wet Noodles. And
Yeah, I mean Thursday you had a lot of series on there.
Busy night.
And all of them were close. All of them were 2-3. Nobody really got swept or anything on there. So very tight, close series. I mean, it was a big series there for Delhi Sweat Noodles, but they could not come up with the win. They needed those points. They needed at least a series win. So that wasn't good for them. It really narrows their chances at the playoffs when we get to the standings in a little while. Again, back-to-back nights, early in the week, they lost against the Sims after beating them game 1. Then they lose 2 overtimes. And now another close series. They lose in overtime on their 1-0. No offense in that game 3 for them. Bills actually played tremendous there, but, 2 games where he, did not really give up much goals. But, they got to get the wins. They, getting these draws or getting these overtime losses, not going to cut in the playoffs when it comes to playoff time.
Yeah. I mean, no question about it, guys. Busy Thursday night. I even ended up listening to some of the Twitch TV during the game, and you guys were just talking through it. It was like a regular Twitch TV observing somebody during the game. So, but it's hard to do that when you're actually in the game, right, Blaze?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what was happening on Thursday night, right?
Different story, man. When you're grinding out there.
Right, bitch.
When you're in the what do you call it, the trenches? You're grinding, right? It's a different atmosphere.
Yeah, just want to give a shout out there for the stars of the night on Thursday. SBDR at the forward spot. He had 7 goals, 5 assists, 12 points, 12 hits for him.
Great night.
Big on there for him. And then also, at defense went to high expectation Pogs. Pogs had a tremendous night there for them, getting the big series win, taking 2 out of the 3 against Crosby. So anything else on the series there? The scores over or the stars of the nights, man?
Did you get Bills in there on the stars of the week as well? Did you get them on there? 80%.
Oh, Bills, yes.
Bills
was the
save percentage, 2.18 goals against average, 56 saves. So congrats, guys, on getting the players of the week. All of these people, well deserved.
I just want to give a shout on that Thursday. There were actually a lot of good goaltenders that night. Bills got my pick there for the start of the night, but also Butcher's son had 2 wins, 84.2 save percentage, and Superstar as well. Superstar had 44 saves in his series, 84.6 save percentage. Bills managed have a much better goals against average than both of those guys, and slightly better save percentage. So he got the nod for me on the start of the night. For Thursday night.
Okay.
As we speak, Giant Man, we had Shotgun earlier on here for the interview. I believe we got the man, the admin of the 239 Hockey League and the captain of the Orange Sus. He's been captain here numerous times, probably as many seasons as Sober has played in this goddamn league. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Pale Polner. Pale, how you doing over there?
What's up, Pale?
Pale, are you there?
I believe we got Pale. So maybe he's connecting on here. We'll get him sorted through. I know sometimes there's some. Me and Johnny had this issue before on the audio. Depending when I connected, like when I connected onto the show, then he couldn't hear me, and vice versa. But he might still be. We'll go to the next thing when he's ready. He'll bounce back in on here. It could be an audio thing as well, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully we get that fixed though. But I know me and Johnny did definitely experience that
last week. Yeah.
All right, so
okay.
We did the stars. We did that. We have the. I guess you guys want to pull up the players of the week, or
Yes, let's do the play. Let's
No,
look at
let's
the
go,
players.
let's go over the standings right
Hello,
now.
can you hear me now?
Oh, Pale's on
Yeah,
the phone.
yeah.
Hold on, we got Pale on the phone.
oh, okay. What's going on, Pal? How
Sorry,
you
buddy.
over there? No
I'm doing all right. How about yourselves? What's going on?
problem. No problem. Orange Sauce captain, ladies and gentlemen, 239 admin. Pal, I mean, you've been captain here numerous times. I don't know, maybe one of the most teams that you've captained here out of anybody that I could think of. Here, season 17, we do have definitely some questions on here. We want to get your input here, how the season's going thus far, some of the changes that you've made on your team, and also heading into the final week here, week number 6.
Pale, this is Giant 918 over here. Your
What's
team
up, bud?
started 12-4 and welcome to the program. Your team started 12-4 and 2 of the first 3 weeks. You were ranked top 3 or 4 in the league. Also, one of the top teams in the preseason rankings and multiple weeks in Flanny's power rankings. The last 2 weeks, you guys are 3 and 6 with 2 series losses and only 1 series win versus the last ranked team where they lost game 3 and gave up 6 goals too. You did a lot of trades, add and drops. You know, is that something that you think you guys did wrong? Some people thought you had a fire sale with Yambag's team and Kerdog in the last place team, and so these are the types of things. What do you think the issues have been with your team lately, Pale?
Well, I mean, as you know, I did make a lot of changes to my roster. If you look at my roster, I've got a bunch of guys that can all play everywhere on the ice. So right now it's kind of trying to find the sweet spot for where everybody should be on the ice.
Right.
I made the changes that I made because I really didn't think that we could compete for a title with the original team that I drafted. It's no slight against the guys that, you know, I was playing with in the beginning of the season that I drafted. But, yeah, we got outclassed by a couple of teams. We went up against Floyd's team, and you know, they were coming off of a series, you know, with the lineup that we faced where they lost to Young Buffalo's squad. And we had just beaten Young Buffalo's squad at his A line, and the Simps had lost to his B line. So, like, we get a swept by them, and then we played another series in there, I think against... who do I want to say? The Boondock Saints, where we kind of had to make a miracle comeback on them in game 1 to end up winning that series. There's just a couple of series in there.
is that the one you guys were down like 4-0 in the third? You guys came back?
Yeah, we had to score 5 goals in the third period to come back and win a
I
game.
saw that one, man.
Yeah, that was fantastic, dude. Yeah.
But end of the day, I just, there was some things that I wasn't really happy with that I felt like we needed to change to be a better team, to be able to compete with the top teams that going into the playoffs. And, you know, with change comes, you need to be able to adjust. There's guys that are going to move around. They're going to play different positions. Nick DeGreek was top 10 in scoring at one point in this season for like 3 weeks. I got him playing on defense right now, and that's an adjustment for him. I don't think he's played defense in this league at all. But that's a decision that I decided that I had to make. You know, defense is really thin this season, and I needed a guy that can move the puck well back there with Anderson. And, you know, I tried Anderson up front for a series, I think against Flaming Dragons team. And you know, right now it's just a feeling out type of thing. I'm trying to figure out where I can put guys to have the best roster, best 6 guys on the ice at the same time. So, yes, we've fallen in the standings a little bit. I don't think we're in any real danger of missing the playoffs, although I guess I could be wrong. Swizz's team seems to be coming up lately, and they've got a couple more games left than we do. But end of the day, you know, we're going to take care of business against Couch tomorrow, and we're going to do the same thing against Odd on Wednesday.
Now, do you think Pale? Do you think you guys can turn it around or what? I mean, you said you expect to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I do.
So you do feel you can turn it around?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have made the changes that I made if I didn't think that we could get through them. I'm not worried about seeding. End of the day, you're going to have to beat the best teams going into the playoffs anyway.
Right.
So, we've got to put the best lineup out there. We got to figure out what that best lineup is, and that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, it sounds kind of tough. You're leading the league in points.
Yeah.
And your team is number 2 in the most goals, right under the red hot stick. And right now you're ranked 7th. So no, it's 6th. I got 6th over here on the standings.
Yeah, we're tied with
tied for sixth.
Dragon's team, so 6th, 7th,
Okay.
whatever.
So 6th, 7th. Okay, I see it. I see it now. Crosby. Yep.
Well, Kelch also has 3 games less played on there, so they do make up a series this week where they could overtake. If they win that series, they would take over the standings, and then your matchup against Kelch will be very important on there as far as seating wise for that spot. We've seen a lot of moves you've made on here, Pill. Are we gonna see any more moves for the final week here for season 17? Or do you think you've got it figured out, or is there's going to be more swapping, adjusting on here that we may see this week?
Well, look, I'll say this. Last week, Mox was out. I think he was going through a move or something like that. So I needed a guy that could fill in for both my series. Now, I had a backup player on my roster, Viral. I have no idea what happened to Viral. I messaged him for the 2 days prior to the first series that we played that night on Monday, and he just never answered me.
Just disappeared.
I figured he would show up at game time, and he didn't. So I had Marine Mike in net for that series instead of Legion, and I had Legion on D. So that kind of was a tough series to deal with. I ended up dropping Viral the next day to pick up Dangles 10, and I put him in our lineup because Mox was still out. And Dangles played really well. I think he was 2nd or 3rd in points last week, overall. And most of those games were on our team. So there might be changes in that. We'll see how Mox looks. We'll see how Dangles looks. I still have the option of bringing Anderson up or bringing Nick up. I think I've found that I need Anderson on the back end. I think that's something that I've decided that I need to do. So I don't think I'm going to bring him up, but yeah, I mean, all of my skaters and Legion all have everything available besides goalie. Everybody has everything available besides goalie. So there's room to move there. I think tomorrow you're going to see a pretty standard lineup of what you would expect my team to run out. But I wouldn't discount that there are going to be no moves made, but we're going to see what we do for the next 2 series.
I know Dangles came out big for you guys that night. He had the most points that night. I didn't put him on the stores of the night, but he had 15 points that night, which is crazy, coming right off the waiver a couple hours before the series starts. I got a question. Is it possible, or is it out of question here that we would see Pel Poner go play defense with Anderson in any of these series here for week number 6, or is that out of the picture?
That's something that I've thought about. I genuinely have, because I'm still not sure exactly how comfortable Nick is back there, and I know Nick.
Especially if Dangles continues to play well for you guys, but I know you're leading the league in freaking points. You're having probably one of the best seasons on here that I've seen in a long time. So it would be definitely a tough choice to do on there. One other question, Pill, I have. You've made a lot of trades and stuff, transactions. Is there anyone in particular that you maybe regret, or if you were to go back, you know what, I wouldn't have done that on here, or not?
No, I don't regret trades. The only transaction that I would regret is picking up Viral and expecting him to play for 2 series and then him just not showing up. That's the only one that I'll regret. I made the trades that I made, and this is the team that we have. Whether we're better or worse for it, that's up to how we do moving forward. But no regrets aside from picking up a waiver that just never responded to me when he needed to play.
And you're going to get that, and that stinks. I mean, it happens, but, good riddance, when that happens.
Yeah, and like, no fault of Viral. I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
I hope, like, everything's all right, because I still haven't heard from him. He never hit me back at all. And like, I had him 2 seasons ago, and he was a regular roster D for me. So like, I know he's a good player, and I feel like we have a decent relationship, but I was definitely a little frustrated with how that played out last week.
Right.
Yeah, it's tough when you expect your guys to be there. You message them 2 days before. That's not something you want to go through.
Yeah,
you got any shout outs or anything like that?
Hopefully everything's all right.
You got any?
Shout outs. I mean, I do want to give a shout out to I kind of pumped his tires a little bit already, but Dangles 10 sitting on the waiver wire this season, I think, was kind of a mistake. I mean, the guy can obviously put up points and make things happen for an offense. I'm not necessarily tipping my cap that he's going to take a roster spot here, but he definitely has the potential to. And sitting on the waiver wire for half the season this season, it's a tough look, but the guy can play. So I expect that'll be the last time he's on the waiver wire.
All right. Fair enough. I like it.
Awesome. Hey, pal, man, we appreciate you coming on here. Give us your thoughts here. Answering the questions here. We had actually, I had some of these questions from guys that posted to me, hopefully, maybe we'll see you on here in of some future episodes on the air here. It's first show here we're doing live, and good luck the rest of the way here. Hopefully, you guys still stay in that playoff spot, and if you do, good luck in the postseason.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for having me, and thanks for creating like all this content for the league. I mean, shout out to. Actually, here's a shout out. Shout out to you, Blaze, Marine Mike, Giant. Thanks for stepping in. You guys have been awesome. This season has been one of our most active media seasons that we've had in quite a while, and it's been a breath of fresh air. It's been really great.
As long as Flanny lasts, I mean, you know how he is, bro.
Thank you, pal.
Drop something after 2 seconds.
The In the Crease series, that's really fucking cool. I like that a lot. And then I think you guys are all doing well. So thank you, and thanks for having me. Have a good one.
I enjoy. I enjoy.
Thanks very much, pal. Good luck to you the rest of your season. Thank you.
Thanks, bud.
Awesome. There you guys go. Pale Poner, Orange Sauce on here, and one of the admins here in 239 Hockey. Always great to have that guy on the air. He used to do shows back in the day with us, man, so always a big supporter of the media team as well.
Thank you, Drug.
All right.
Drug Monkey with some comments in the chat in the history of 239. Thank you for that.
Okay, guys. So I think the last thing we got to go over are the upcoming series that we have.
Yes.
Week 6, season 17.
I'm going to pull those up right now. Let me pull those
The
up.
games are loaded on Monday and on Thursday. So we'll go over briefly on Monday. Those guys versus Wash. Wash shouldn't have an issue with those guys. Wash is, those guys are not playing that well at all this season.
I would not though sleep on those guys. They've won their last 2 series. SBDR has been on fire last 2 seasons. They just came off beating Yambak's team, and they might do the same here against Wash team if they're not careful. I like those guys in a big upset this week. If Wash cannot finish the series like they did last week.
So Crosby for Neil Malkin and Boondock Saints, I think that'll be a very competitive series right there. Winter is coming versus the Sims. Winter comes in absolute dead last place. The Sims, they got to sweep this game. It's going to be an easy 3-game sweep over here. And another good series that I think will happen on Monday is Johnny Klings versus Orange Sauce. And I think he's got to make a statement here. Pale Poner's got to make a statement here. And if he gets the sleep over here, I think he's going to get right back on track.
Yep.
And
that's a big series.
Probably
because you got
biggest one of the night, because I mean that means a lot for Orange Sox to get back in there, for both teams really. Jockeying for position.
Yeah, because if
Sus
Sus can't win that series, then now you're going to be kind of watching your back as far as, you got high expectations creeping up behind you, and you got Daly's Wet Noodles creeping up behind you. So the team that loses that series is going to be tough, because they're going to have to finish out strong in the next series. So, and the teams that are catching up are pretty much, are going to get a good jump here, because one of those teams is losing, It's just a matter of which one. So I know the teams below are hoping that one of them gets swept that night, because if they do, watch out. Those two teams are really looking to bounce in there.
Yes. All right, so let's move along to Tuesday. High expectations versus Winter's coming, and the Cobra Kai Puckers against the Niagara Ice Frogs. Now, I don't expect the high expectations. I mean, really, Winter's coming. Maybe they'll win one of the series. I think the high expectations could at least win the series 2-1. This Cobra Kai Puckers and Niagara Ice Frogs, Blaze, is that going to be a competitive game or not?
I think, and obviously with Cobra Kai being the top team, and Niagara is kind of that middle tier, but Niagara has been playing well. Cobra Kai, they can be beaten. But they're with only 6 losses on the season. That's going to be tough. That's going to be a tough one right there. But I'm fully expecting one heck of a battle there. You obviously want that. You want to see the little guy come up on top. But it's going to be tough. Cobra Kai is a competitive team. Odd Guy's done a great job with that team, so it can be tough.
Yeah. They're the number 1 ranked team for a reason, so they're number 1 right now. But Ice Frogs started off the season well, but lately they haven't got a series win. So they're looking to bounce back here. It's going to be tough against the number 1 ranked team. I got to take Cobra Kai in that one. And high expectations, got to win. Not only win the series, I think they got to sweep. They need to get the sweep over Winter's Coming to get those 6 points if they're thinking about playoffs.
Okay, so let's move along to Wednesday's schedule. Yeah, Wednesday's schedule, Cobra Kai Puckers versus Orange Stuff. High expectations versus Daily Wet Noodles. That game might actually be competitive. I expect that game to be competitive. And those guys versus Johnny Klings, I expect Johnny Klings to take that. So I really think the series, I think it's going to be very tough again for Orange Sus. If they get one of these games, but if they win the series, that would be magical. I think they get back on track. Pale Poner would get back on track. But that Cobra Kai team is mad fucking good. They look mad fucking good. Blaze, what do you think?
And this is gonna shift focus back to Orange Sus. What we were saying earlier is that they need to beat Johnny Kling's Classics Monday night, because then they come back to play the number 1 team, Cobra Kai. Yeah. So that kind of, if you beat Johnny Kling's Classics Monday night, you have a little bit more wiggle room. You have a little bit of a cushion, because you got Daly's Wet Noodles playing pretty well. You got high expectations. You got those guys on the outside looking and trying to make that last minute rush. If you beat Johnny Klings on Monday, you come back, you get a couple points, or you beat Cobra Kai outright, you're looking good. You're looking real good. If it's the opposite, if the opposite situation happens, well, now we got a different story. So, but I think I have all the confidence that Pale pull.
Pale was on here a few minutes ago. He sounded very confident, but
he did.
I think it's a tough week here for him. Number 1, and if he doesn't get past the Johnny Kling's Classics, then it comes down to this Wednesday night. It's going to be very difficult against a Cobra Kai team, and they could. Again, we might see a bad week there for Orange Sus, and we see that happen. could say bye-bye to the playoffs. And the other matchup on that night, just as we said, the Orange Sus versus Johnny Klings is going to be a big matchup as far as the 7th and 8th seed. Well, right here, both these teams, high expectations. Daily's Wet Noodles looking to get into the playoff spot. So I think the winner out of this series has the better shot in making that playoff number 8 spot.
Absolutely. Anything can happen with that grouping right there. I mean, so much can happen depending on what happens Monday night and this night, Wednesday night. So.
All right, and our last day of the week, scheduled Thursday. It's jam-packed schedule. Daly's Wet Noodles versus the Boondock Saints. Wasp versus High Expectations. Those guys versus Niagara Ice Frogs. The Simps versus Johnny Klings. Winter's Coming versus Crosby Neals. And I'm looking at the games of the week, games of the night over here. It's going to be the Simps versus Johnny Kings. That might be the game of the night. I don't know. Maybe Daly's Wet Noodles versus Boondock Saints. Flanny, what do you think?
I mean, it's another big Thursday night. A lot of games, winded up on here, and it's going to be a big Thursday. It might come down to Thursday night for a lot of these teams as far as where they end up in this season. So, yeah, a couple good matchups on there, and it's all going to depend how the games went earlier in that week. These games could really mean a lot, or it could mean very little, depending how everything transpired. Johnny Klings has their hands full here against the Simps to finish the season, so that's going to be a tough one there for them. Same thing with the Wet Noodles. They got to go up against D Mart and the Boondock Saints, who are playing very hot. And High Expectations finish against a Wash team, but High Expectations has been rolling, so hopefully they could continue that momentum here for this season here to end here in week number 6. And it's a bit different. It's a big week here, week 6. There's 2 series that were rescheduled, so we're getting the extra games here this week. So in the crease, it's going to be jam-packed. Every night is going to have at least 2 or more series for all 4 nights, which is going to be great. For the show, for the community, and everything here to finish off the season.
Yeah, so we got to fit in 2 more games in here somewhere, so that'll be good.
Absolutely.
All right, that's all I got for tonight, fellas, man. You guys got anything else?
You know what? I threw in something last minute. One little surprise, little last minute, a tribute to our friend Hugh Laurie, 88. Have you seen him?
Shout out to Hugh Laurie, man.
The legend himself, Hugh Berry, missing MIA from this league, but not from our hearts. Look at those stats.
Oh, man.
1 game played, 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points, 67% shooting. This man is a stud.
Get him on the ice. Maybe Ice Frogs do need to do that. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if they continue or struggle, maybe we'll get to see Hugh Laurie here week number 6. Who knows? Anything's possible here. Anything's possible in 239 hockey. But great job, guys, as always on here. Great job. Thank the 2 guys coming in for the interviews. Those were very well. We always want to do that. That's what makes the shows interesting. You guys see all the stats, the leaderboards and all that. We added the new leaderboard on the bottom that's now a top 10, to feature more guys on the show, feature more guys, there. And but that's great. I love the picture, Johnny.
Fantastic place.
I had to throw that in there. Hugh Berry, wherever you are, we miss you, buddy. Actually, he's playing Call of Duty. That's where he is, but he don't play with us no more.
All right, guys. Make sure you continue to check us out, www.239hockey.net. Follow us on Twitter at 239hockey. Johnny Blaze, Mr. Hollywood, Giant918, signing out. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you, man. Thank you for coming on here. Great having you on.
Thanks for having me, fellas. Fantastic.
I know, fellas. Good luck, everybody, this week. See you guys in the crease tomorrow night, 10 Eastern.
It's going to be a good night. Goodbye, everyone.